Hello Divi Nation and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to download and install our free blog post template for Divi's Produce Box Layout Pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to head over to this blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. Next, you want to scroll down and click on download it here today, enter your email address, click on download, and then download the files. Okay, so once downloaded, the next step now is to unzip this file. So I'm going to click here, show in Finder, and here is the file that I've just downloaded. Notice that this is a zipped folder or a zipped file. So next, I'm going to double click on it. And now we have this folder right here. So I'm going to double click on it again. And now we have the file that we need. I'm just going to drag this over to the side. We're going to need this in a moment. So the next step now is to take a look and see what our blog posts look like before we install the template. So this is what the blog post looks like. So as you can see here, this is just a standard blog post. It doesn't have any styling to it. This is what you get out of the box when you install Divi. Okay, so the next thing is to come over here to our website, scroll all the way down here to Divi, click on Theme Builder. And this is where now we can now install the template that we've just downloaded. Next, I'm going to come over here to portability and I'm going to click on import. Now we need that file that we unzipped. So I'm just going to drag this back over here. And here is the file. The quickest way to do this is just to drag and drop it over here like that. And then you want to click on import Divi theme builder templates. There we go. So now this is installing our template. And as you can see here, it's assigned to all the posts. So before I actually save this, I just want to show you one more time what our blog post looks like. So over here, you can see that this is pretty much basic. Now let me hit save. And then I'm going to now refresh this so that we can see the change. So I'm going to hit refresh. And now you can see that we have a much better design. We have this background color. We also have a publish date here, the comment count, the post author, and we also have a button here which allows us to continue reading, which then takes us here to our post area. So as you can see, this is a much better transformation as to what we had before. We even have this area here where we can subscribe to the mailing list, and also the comments area has been revamped, and this looks way much better. All right, so what I'm going to do next is to show you how to go in and customize this template, just in case you want to change the titles, change the fonts, change the colors, and so on. So to do that, I'm just going to come back to my theme builder here, click on this pencil icon. So with this pencil icon, it's going to take us now to the builder itself. So first things first, let's change the background over here. So I'm going to click on this gear icon to go into my section settings, and then I'm going to click on background. So here, if I click on the second tab, we notice now that we have this solid color here, and where we have transparency is where the image is going to show. In fact, let me show you here. So this is where the image is going to show. All right, so to change the color, you want to click here. And we have several colors here in our color palette. But if you have some colors from your color palette, you can just go ahead and add them from here. So as you can see, I've just changed my color here, and already that has just changed how things look on my page. Okay, so that is how you change that main color. I'm going to close out of here. Now let's move on to the area here where this shows our categories. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and now this takes me to my text settings. Now, if you take a look here, you're going to notice that this is dynamic text. So this is showcasing our post categories. If we click this gear icon, you can see here that we have a separator, and this is H4. Okay, that's the heading 4 tag. So the next step now is to come over here to design, and then I'm going to go to the heading text. Now remember, this was heading 4. So this is where we can change our font to whatever font we want. So I've just changed that to Montserrat. Now, you know, I like Poppins, so I'm going to search for Poppins here and select it. And as you can see, this is how quickly you can search for your fonts and change them. Next, if you want to change the colors, you can just come over here. And as you can see, the colors here are changing. So that is how you go in and change that. Maybe you might not like the fact that it's bold. You can just click here on semi-bold, and that is how you can play around with that. And then finally, you can also increase or decrease the size of the text. All right, so the next part is our title here. Now, again, this is dynamic text. You can see here that it's targeting our post or archive title, and this has been assigned a heading 1. Okay, so to customize this, you can either just click on this paintbrush icon. Now, this takes us to our heading text. So again, you can change your font here. So let's say you choose Poppins. You can also adjust the size over here like that. If you want to change the color, you can change the color like that. So as you can see, it's quite straightforward to go in and make some customizations to our heading. Let's move on to the next part. And this time we are going to take a look at our text module here. Now, this again is dynamic text. This is targeting our post excerpt. So again, I'm going to click on this little icon, and as you can see here, it is showing after those 3 little dots. And then you can also specify the amount of words here. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and customize the text itself. So I'm going to come over here, go into text, and this is where we can change our font to say Poppins, and you can see right away it has changed. And we can also increase the size or even decrease it. I usually go with 18 when I use this font, or sometimes 17. That is much easier to read. Okay, now we can also change the colors. So as you can see here, I've just updated the color there, and that looks great. Okay, let's move on to the next part, and that is over here. And this is our blurb settings. Okay, so over here on our blurb settings, we can see here that we have this start reading. We can customize this. We can customize this text by just coming over here and changing what that reads. And if we want to change the font, we can just come over here to design, text, and go to your title text, change the colors. So you can change this to whatever color you want. And let's say you want to work on the icon here. You can just click on this little icon. And this now takes us to our icon. So again, there's quite a few things we can change here. If you want to make the icon smaller, you can just reduce it like that. Or if you want to make it even bigger, that is how you customize it. Okay. Okay, so that's all we have to do here. Let's move on. I'm going to close out of this. Now we have these 3 rounded rectangles here. So let's start off with the first one. So this one here is a blurb, and again, it's using dynamic text. So if you want to make changes to that, you can just come over here to the background. You can change the background color to match the colors on your color palette. And if you want to make some changes to the text, you can just click over here, start with the icon, and you can always go in and add your icon colors. And then for the text, you can just come over here, change your text like that, and also the date. Now notice that I'm clicking here on this paintbrush icon. This is one quick way of finding your way around and targeting whatever it is that you want to make changes to. Okay, so if you want, you can make it bold or medium. So you can just continue doing this for the other 2, and that's pretty much how you make changes to that. Now, moving on, we also have this post content area. Now, there isn't much to do here, but the most important thing is to set your initial font over here. So let's start here with heading 1. So I'm going to click on the paintbrush icon, and our font has been assigned, so you can assign yours here. So let's say you want to go with Poppins. You can also change the colors. Now, whatever change you're going to do here is going to be applied across all your blog posts. So it's very, very important that you make your changes here. So let's say you want to change the paragraph text. This is the place to come and make those changes. So you can see here that I'm easily updating this. So you want to go through all these changes here, add all your headings, make sure you set up your colors, and pretty much your template is good to go. Now let's move on to the subscribe. Now this part here is very important because if you don't set it up correctly, this will not work at all. So first things first, you want to make sure that you have an email service provider. So this could be a MailChimp, Fluent CRM, or Aweber, and any of those services will do because Divi integrates very well with them. So I'm going to click on this gear icon here to go into my email opt-in settings. So the most important setting here is down here on email account. So this is where you need to select your service provider. Now, once you've selected it, you also need to have created a list beforehand. This is where everyone is going to be added to when they enter their name and email address. Okay, so with that, the next step now is to come over here to the fields. Let's say you don't necessarily need to collect the first name. You can just disable that, disable the first name, disable the last name, and all you have now is the email field. Now, if you have any custom fields, this is where you can go in and add your other fields that you may want to add. So now when someone adds their email address and hit subscribe, they'll be added onto your mailing list, and that is how they'll be added to your mailing list, and that is how your email list will grow. Now, we also have another setting here, and that is when someone fills in this form, you can decide what message they see. Do they see just a quick message here, or do you want to redirect them to a thank you page or a specific page that they see after they hit this button? So this is what you can create here. So first of all, let's talk about the redirect. So this is where you can choose to redirect your custom URL. Now, ideally, this needs to be a thank you page. So you need to have created this beforehand, and this is where you type in the thank you page URL. So when they hit subscribe, they're taken to that thank you page. So pretty much that's it. That's all you need to do to make this work. Now, the other settings that we have here are just you going in and changing the colors. So this can be done by coming over here to our row settings, clicking on background, and as you can see, this is our main background color. So this is where you change this. Okay, let's move on now to our comments area. So our comments area, we can go into the settings by clicking on this gear icon. Now, again, this is very straightforward to customize because all you need to do here is to click on the paintbrush icon. So notice what happens. So each and every item I need to customize here, you just click here on this paintbrush icon, and that will take you directly to where you want to make changes to. So notice I can go in, change the color here like that. And if I need to change the size, I can just scroll down here, adjust my size. If I need to move on to the next item, I can just click here on this paintbrush icon. Now I'm working on the next item. And just like that, I can go in and make my changes. So this is what you need to do to go in and customize the comments area. Now over here, we also have the related posts. So again, if you click on this gear icon, this now takes us to our blog settings. So you can specify how many you want to show here on the bottom. And you can also customize this by coming to the design. And again, if you hover over here and you click on this paintbrush icon, it takes you now to that specific item you need to make changes to. So let's say, for example, you want to add some rounded corners. You can see here, I've just added 5 to my image. And if I need to change my font, I can just click here on this paintbrush icon and select my font over here. I can also do that to the title. I can make it all caps and change my font. Okay, so that is how you make changes to your template. Now let's take a quick look one more time and see what our design looks like. So as you can see here, it's beautiful. You can highly customize this. And as I mentioned before, if you make changes to this, this will be applied across all your blog posts. So go ahead and set it up. It's absolutely free. You can download it. The link to the download page is in the video description below. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.